When you walk up the stairs, do you feel the need to grip the handrail tightly just to feel secure? When you get up from a chair, do you sometimes have to push off with your hands and rock your body a few times before you can stand? These might be early signs of muscle loss, signals many people overlook. Ask yourself these three questions. In the past 6-12 months, has your weight stayed about the same, but your arms and legs feel thinner or smaller? Do you get winded after climbing just one flight of stairs and need to hold onto a railing? Is it hard for you to stand up and sit down 5 times within 10 seconds? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, it could already be an early warning of silent muscle loss, something you might not have noticed yet. When your muscle mass starts to decline, your body doesn't just feel weaker. It quietly enters a chain reaction of serious consequences. Many people assume that getting older means becoming weaker, but in reality, muscle loss is one of the key factors that directly determines independence and healthy longevity. The worrying part is that this process creeps in silently, no pain, no clear symptoms, and by the time you notice it, a significant amount of muscle may already be gone. Muscle loss makes everyday activities harder. Walking for a few minutes leaves you tired. Climbing stairs requires holding onto the railing. Standing up from a chair takes several attempts. These are only the early signs. As muscle continues to decline, the risk of falls and fractures can triple compared to someone with stronger muscles. A single fall in older age can lead to a hip fracture, long periods of bed rest, and dangerous complications like pneumonia, blood clots, or overall physical deterioration. Your muscles also act as a health reserve that helps your body fight illness. When muscle mass is low, your ability to recover from sickness, surgery, or infections drops sharply. You may find yourself getting tired more easily, recovering more slowly, and having weaker immunity. Muscle loss also disrupts how your body handles sugar, increasing the risk of diabetes and heart disease. The most alarming part is the downward spiral. Weak muscles, less movement, even faster muscle loss, declining overall health. Once muscle strength falls below a certain threshold, older adults may lose the ability to walk independently and become dependent on others for basic daily tasks like bathing, standing up, or using the restroom. This greatly impacts quality of life and emotional well-being. The good news is that muscle loss isn't destiny. If you recognize the signs early and take the right steps, you can absolutely reverse this process. Here's the translation in a strong, smooth, engaging American English style, including comments. So 1. One of the clearest proofs that muscle strength can be improved lies in the story of the doctor's 5-year-old father. Despite his age, he can now cross the street with ease and climb 3 flights of stairs every day. Simple tasks for some, but major challenges for many older adults. Yet few people know that just a year earlier, his condition was completely different. Back then, he often couldn't cross the street before the light turned red. He would have to stop halfway because he was too tired. Just a few steps up the stairs left him breathless and forced him to rest. Feeling weak and insecure made him go out less often, which only accelerated his muscle loss. Everything began to change when he started following a high-protein diet exactly as his son instructed. After just 1 month, the difference was striking. He could walk with ease, no longer worried about not making it across in time. He could go up and down the stairs without stopping. His mood improved, and he became confident enough to go out more often, shopping, strolling, even hiking small hills every day. With more movement came even more muscle strength, creating a positive cycle. Eat enough, feel stronger, move more, get even healthier. His story is living proof that older adults can regain significant muscle strength when given the right interventions. Comment has shown, this story builds trust because it shows real, tangible proof. You should highlight the fact that even an 5-year-old can improve dramatically. It gives motivation to other seniors and their families. Here is your text, translated into strong, natural, engaging American English, exactly according to your instructions. Muscles aren't just the engine that helps us walk, climb stairs, or stand up from a chair. Few people realize that muscle is actually one of the most important organs determining how healthy we remain as we age. First, muscle is the foundation of every movement in daily life. Steady walking, good balance, preventing falls, and carrying out simple tasks like lifting groceries, bending down, or even turning over in bed. When muscles weaken, every movement becomes heavier, harder, and more dangerous. Even more importantly, muscles act as the body's health reserve. Whenever we get sick, undergo surgery, suffer an injury, or fight an infection, the body needs a huge amount of protein to repair damaged tissues and restore function. In these moments, muscle provides that protein. If you don't have enough muscle, your body simply lacks the raw materials it needs to heal, leading to longer hospital stays and a higher risk of complications. Beyond movement and recovery, muscle plays a critical role in metabolism and immunity. Muscles store most of the body's glucose in the form of glycogen, which is why people with more muscle tend to have better blood sugar control and a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Muscle also stimulates the release of beneficial hormones, supports bone strength, boosts circulation, and enhances the body's ability to fight disease. In fact, many studies show that older adults with more muscle not only live longer but also recover better after illness. In other words, muscle is the most valuable savings account we have as we grow older. The more muscle you have, the more likely you are to stay independent, avoid illness, and enjoy a healthier, stronger life in your later years. Here is your text translated into strong, clear, engaging American English, just as you requested. Muscle loss doesn't happen overnight. It progresses quietly over many years, but the speed of decline rises dramatically as we age. As early as age 30, the body starts losing about 0.5% of its muscle mass each year. At this stage, most people still feel healthy, so such a small drop usually goes unnoticed. However, once you hit 50, the rate doubles to about 1% per year. After age 70, it can climb to as high as 3% annually. That means from age 70 to 80 alone, you could lose up to 30% of your muscle mass. This is alarming, because losing just 30% of muscle can slash muscle strength by 1.5 to 3 times, making older adults feel dramatically weaker even if their body weight stays the same. As muscle disappears, everyday movements become harder. Legs tremble slightly when walking. Climbing stairs leaves you breathless. Standing up requires multiple attempts. Balance becomes unstable, and falls occur more easily. Even more serious, muscle loss weakens the bones, disrupts metabolism, and reduces immune function. What's most concerning is that this decline happens without obvious pain or warning signs. Many people only recognize the problem once it has become severe, when recovery is much more difficult and requires far more time. The good news is that at any age, you can slow this decline significantly and even rebuild muscle by taking the right steps, especially eating enough protein and staying physically active. Here is your text translated into strong, smooth, natural American English with clear impact and emotional pull, exactly in the style you requested. When muscle mass declines, older adults often feel tired quickly, weak, unsteady on their feet, and easily short of breath. This constant sense of frailty makes them avoid physical activity. They're afraid of falling, afraid of getting exhausted, so they start going out less, walking less, and even doing fewer simple tasks around the house. And that's exactly when the negative cycle begins. Less movement, faster muscle loss, major drop in strength, harder to walk, even more fear of moving. If this cycle isn't broken, it can lead to serious consequences. A sharply increased risk of falls and fractures, longer recovery time after illness, and a higher chance of complications. Widespread physical decline from circulation to immunity. Gradual loss of independence in daily living. In advanced stages, even a few days in bed due to illness can dramatically accelerate muscle loss. Some people never regain their previous level of function after a fall or a hospital stay, and that's something no one wants to face. The good news is that this downward spiral can be reversed. It starts with just 2 simple actions: getting enough protein every day and staying physically active even a little bit. Every step you take today, every high-protein meal you choose, helps your body rebuild strength and lower your risk of disease. Call to action. Start today. Don't wait until your muscles feel noticeably weak by then. recovery will be much harder. Take a 10-minute light walk. Prepare a meal with extra protein. Share this information with your parents, relatives, and friends, those who may also be silently facing muscle loss. A small change today can create a stronger, healthier future. Here is your text translated into strong, natural, engaging American English, exactly in the style you requested. Many people believe that simply exercising, walking, cycling, practicing Qigong, or doing yoga is enough to maintain muscle. But the truth is, exercise is only half of the equation. The other half lies in nutrition, especially the amount of protein you eat each day. Muscles are built from protein. Physical activity and exercise only activate the muscle-building process. But for new muscle to actually form, your body needs raw materials, and that raw material is protein. If you're not eating enough, training is like trying to build a house without bricks. You spend a lot of effort, but the results are minimal. Many older adults think they're getting enough protein because they eat 1 or 2 eggs a day, or a small portion of meat or fish. But in reality, this amount is far below what the body needs, especially after age 50, when muscle loss speeds up dramatically. 1 egg contains only about 6 grams of protein. That means a 60 kg adult who needs 70-90 grams of protein a day would have to eat more than a dozen eggs, which is obviously not realistic. Protein deficiency in older age doesn't just shrink muscle. It leads to slow recovery after illness, weaker immunity, lower stamina, dizziness, a higher risk of falling, and persistent fatigue. On the other hand, when you consume enough protein, your strength improves quickly, your mind becomes clearer, movement feels easier, and your overall quality of life rises noticeably. That's why protein isn't optional, it's essential. Getting the right amount of protein every day is the foundation for restarting your body's muscle-building engine and protecting your long-term health. Here is your text translated into strong, natural, engaging American English, exactly in the tone and style you requested. To maintain muscle mass, most adults need about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That means if you weigh 60 kilograms, you need at least 60 grams of protein daily. However, for people aged 50 and above, muscle loss accelerates and the body's ability to build muscle declines, so their protein needs are higher than average. At this age, experts recommend consuming 1.2–1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day. For example, a 60 kilograms adult needs 70–90 grams of protein day. A 50 kilograms adult needs 60–75 grams of protein day. These numbers might not sound high at first, but when converted into actual food, it becomes clear that most older adults fall short. 1 egg has only about 6 grams of protein, a glass of milk has around 8 grams, and a 100 grams piece of fish contains about 18–20 grams. If you just eat a little bit of protein-rich foods here and there, it's nearly impossible to reach 70–90 grams a day. What's more, it's not just how much protein you eat, but how you spread it out. Instead of eating a large amount all at once, protein should be divided evenly across 3 meals, about 25–30 grams per meal to maximize absorption. For older adults, spreading protein intake throughout the day is even more important because their bodies require a higher threshold to trigger muscle synthesis compared to younger people. If you eat too little protein, the body will break down your own muscles to compensate, leading to even faster muscle loss. If you eat enough protein, your muscles finally have the building blocks they need to repair, respond, and regain strength, often within just a few weeks. Understanding and correctly calculating your daily protein needs is the first step to rebuilding muscle, improving endurance, and protecting your independence as you age. Here is your text translated into strong, natural, engaging American English, fully matching the style you've been using. To reach the recommended amount of protein without having to eat piles of eggs or meat, you can choose high-protein foods that are convenient, easy to digest, and well-suited for older adults. Here are the 5 standout options mentioned in the script. 1. Dried pollock bok nu ko. Dried Alaskan pollock. 100 grams. Contains up to 77 grams of protein. Practically a protein bomb. Low in sodium, making it suitable for people with high blood pressure. Rich in leucine, the amino acid that switches on muscle building. Easy to prepare. Add to egg soup, mix with tofu, or toss with vegetables. 2. Fermented soybean powder. Contains twice as much protein as whole fermented soybeans. Packed with probiotics that support digestion and immunity. Can be used instantly. Mix with water or milk, sprinkle over rice, add to salads, or blend into sauces. 3. Greek yogurt. Nearly double the protein of regular yogurt. Easy to digest. Great for older adults or those with weak teeth. Pairs well with fermented soybean powder, boiled eggs, fruit, or nuts for a complete breakfast. 4. Lentils. 100 grams. Contains about 25 grams of plant-based protein. No soaking needed. Cooks in just 15-20 minutes. Add to salads, soups, rice dishes, or mix with tofu and broccoli for a balanced meal. 5. Mackerel. 100 grams contains about 20 grams of protein, rich in omega-3 and vitamin D, critical for bone and muscle health. Affordable, easy to find, easy to cook. Just grill properly to reduce smoke and harmful byproducts. When you choose the right foods, hitting 70-90 grams of protein per day becomes surprisingly easy without eating too much of anything. Even better, these foods don't just deliver protein. They also provide vitamin D, probiotics, omega-3 seconds, fiber, and more to support total body recovery. Call to action today. Choose at least one of the 5 foods above and add it to your meal. A small daily change can transform your health over a month, a year, and throughout your older years. Share this information with your parents, relatives, or anyone who needs to improve their health. Sometimes, a single reminder at the right moment can change someone's entire life. Here is your text translated into strong, natural, engaging American English, exactly in the tone you've been using. Getting enough protein is important, but how you eat it determines how well your body absorbs it and converts it into muscle. This is especially crucial for older adults, whose ability to build muscle decreases significantly with age. 1. Spread your protein evenly across 3 meals. Your body can't fully utilize a large amount of protein eaten all at once. Instead of loading up in a single meal, divide it evenly. About 25-30 grams of protein per meal, for someone around 60 kilograms. This is the threshold that effectively triggers muscle building. 2. Each meal needs at least 2-3 grams of leucine. Leucine is the amino acid that switches on muscle synthesis. Foods rich in leucine include mackerel, dried pollock, chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, tofu, and more. If a meal lacks leucine, even a high-protein meal won't activate muscle growth efficiently. 3. Pair protein with healthy carbohydrates. Combining protein with a serving of good carbs like brown rice or sweet potatoes helps release insulin, which transports amino acids into the muscles and improves recovery. 4. Prioritize easy-to-digest cooking methods. Older adults often have weaker digestion, so protein-rich foods should be prepared in soft, chewable, highly absorbable forms: minced or shredded meat, steamed, stewed, or braised rather than fried. Soak dried pollock before cooking. Soups, stews, porridges, and broths instead of dry, tough dishes. 5. Eat protein within 1-2 hours after exercising. This is the golden window when the body is most ready to absorb protein and build muscle. Even 20-30 minutes of light activity like squats, step-ups, or brisk walking followed by protein can significantly boost results. When you follow these principles, your protein intake doesn't just meet the requirement, it's converted effectively into muscle, helping increase strength, improve balance, and maintain independence. Here is your text translated into strong, smooth, engaging American English, exactly in the style you've been using. Based on the principles covered earlier, here's a sample daily meal plan that helps older adults get enough protein, leucine, and vitamin D, the key elements for maintaining and rebuilding muscle. You don't need complicated dishes. With the right combinations, you can nourish your muscles effectively. Breakfast. Light but protein-packed. 150 grams plain Greek yogurt. 10 grams fermented soybean powder sprinkled on top. 1 boiled egg. A handful of nuts and a few blueberries or cherry tomatoes. Drizzle with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, plus a touch of honey if desired. Total. Class. 28 grams. Protein plus probiotics plus vitamin D plus fiber. Benefits. Keeps you full longer, easy to digest, kickstarts digestion, and switches on muscle building first thing in the morning. Lunch. Animal protein plus fiber. 100 grams. Mackerel rich in omega-3 and vitamin D. A serving of leafy greens, spinach, bok choy, etc. 100 grams. Brown rice. Total. 28 grams. Protein plus. Omega-3 plus bone-supporting micronutrients. Benefits. Sustains steady afternoon energy, reduces fatigue, and supports heart health. Dinner. Warm, gentle, easy to absorb. Dried pollock soup with 1 egg plus sun-dried shiitake mushrooms. Side dish. Tofu. 80 grams, plus lentils. 30 grams, plus broccoli. 100 grams. Brown rice. Total. 33 grams protein plus natural vitamin D plus leucine. Benefits. Light on the stomach, sleep-friendly, and provides a balanced mix of plant and animal protein. Total for the day. To 90 grams of protein, ideal for a 60 kg adult looking to rebuild and maintain muscle. Call to action. Choose just one meal from this plan, and try it today. No matter your age, a single small change can create noticeable improvements within just a few weeks. If you have parents, grandparents, or older relatives, share this meal plan with them. One well-designed meal could be the first step that helps them regain strength, confidence, and quality of life. Here is your text, translated into strong, clear, engaging American English, fully aligned with the style you've used so far. The changes you want to see in your health: steadier steps, climbing stairs with ease, standing up and sitting down without struggle, all begin with small habits repeated every single day. A protein-rich meal, a short session of light movement, or a smart food choice. Each one is a building block that strengthens your foundation of muscle. Older adults may recover more slowly than younger people, but it is never too late to start. After just 3-4 weeks of eating enough protein and staying active, you'll begin to feel the difference. Your steps become lighter, your mind sharper, and your body feels recharged. These are the signs that your muscles are finally responding to your efforts. Remember, strength in old age doesn't come from luck. It comes from being proactive, proactively choosing the right foods, proactively exercising, proactively taking care of yourself. That is how you protect your independence, reduce disease risk, and fully enjoy life. Each day you delay, your muscles lose a little more. Each day you take action, your muscles rebuild a little more. Your health in later life is in your hands.